Team Canada just had their first game in the 2023 FIBA World Cup and the team looks pretty stacked. They ended up losing in a close game, but there are still several really good things to take away from it. I've already made a video breaking down the Team USA roster, but Team Canada has a roster full of NBA talent as well. Their entire starting lineup for the Germany game is actively on an NBA roster. They started gilgeous-alexander, Dillon Brooks, RJ Barrett, Dwight Powell, and Kelly Olynyk. Shea running point guard with this supporting cast could be very dangerous, especially because we've seen him dominate in FIBA tournaments before, and the roster they have right now is even better than the team he played with before. Off the bench this year, they have Lou Dort, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Melvin Ejim, Kyle Alexander, Thomas Scrub, Phil Scrub, and Trey Bell-Haynes. They still have a few NBA players coming off the bench, and even the players that aren't actively on an NBA team are still pretty solid. Some of them have also played in FIBA tournaments before, so even if they don't have the NBA experience, they do have the experience of playing overseas, which is very different than the entertainment-filled product that is the NBA. They have a really good two-way roster from top to bottom. They have multiple players that can get a bucket on the offensive end, but also go and play great defense. There's also still speculation that Jamal Murray will be playing for Team Canada as the actual tournament approaches. Right now they're just playing exhibition games, so he does still have time to decide if he's gonna play or not. He's coming off an NBA championship, so if I had to guess, I would assume he's not gonna play. He's already gonna have the shortest offseason possible, so might as well reward yourself with some time off. If this was the Olympics, then I'm sure he would play, but this just being the FIBA World Cup, NBA players don't care as much. He would take the team to another level though. Could you imagine a backcourt of Jamal Murray and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? You'd have unlimited scoring and playmaking. Then combine that with the supporting cast that they have, and they just might have a team that could compete with Team USA. Although Team USA definitely does have a better roster and coaching. However, Canada does have more FIBA-focused coaches and players. The problem with Team USA and Canada is that they really have no team chemistry. Other countries play together for multiple tournaments and in different leagues. And since Canada has produced the second most amount of players out of any other country, they kinda just do what the US does, which is kinda just build a team with as many NBA players that will say yes. They're not like these other countries that are just adding 1 or 2 NBA players to an already established team. Canada plays their second game on the 12th against New Zealand and play the very next day against either Germany again or China. Then a few days after that, they take on Spain and the Dominican Republic. Again, these are just exhibition games to get used to playing with their team before the actual World Cup starts. Both the United States and Canada are playing 5 exhibition games. Then pool play begins on August 26th. The times are all in the Eastern time zone, so you will have to convert it. They're all really early in the day, and it's the exact same thing with Team USA. Since they are playing across the world, game times are extremely early, but there will always be highlights and ways to watch it after. I really don't think there's a way to watch Canada's exhibition games on TV though. At least you couldn't for the very first game, but there are legal and illegal streams to watch them on. That's up to you. If you do know a convenient way to watch these games live, then definitely leave it in the comments. The pool games and actual tournament itself though will be on ESPN or ESPN+. Their first game against Germany could have gone better, but there were still a lot of factors that played into it. The US won their first game by 40, but they also got to play in Las Vegas. Canada went straight to Germany for their first game. Also, Germany played really well, you kinda just have to hand it to them. Dennis Schroeder was dissecting Canada's defense. He almost had a triple-double. Then on top of it, Franz Wagner had 18 points and Daniel Theis had 17. They swung the ball a lot and had a smooth offensive flow. While for Canada, it seemed like they were running screen actions rather than actual plays and starting an offense. Some players for Canada have played on the team before, but this is still the first time the whole group has actually played together. Most of their problems came from just not having team chemistry. That and their offensive flow will all get better as the games go on. Lou Dort and RJ Barrett were the team's leading scorers with 12 and 14 points, while Nickeil Alexander and Kelly Olynyk both scored 11. FIBA's a different game than the NBA, so I really wouldn't be too worried about any of these exhibition games. There were still really good moments from several players. Lou Dort played extremely well, and a lot of the guys that you might not have heard of really stepped up at times. They put themselves in a huge hole after the first quarter, but were able to come back and keep it close for the rest of the game. It was literally a tied game with less than a minute left. It was really as close as it gets. But being able to make a run like that in the second half really is promising. Comment down below how you feel about Team Canada and if you think they can win it all. I'll be covering several teams and players throughout the FIBA World Cup, so if you're interested, then please subscribe to support the channel.